In this episode of Tesla series, we're reviewing a new circular mini instrument cluster display for Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. This cluster comes with some unique features such as an indication of autopilot nags, multiple UI options, and is fully synced with the Tesla. We'll show you unboxing, detailed step-by-step installation guide, ride along to show the product in action, report any bugs, and end the video with our honest review. What is going on, everyone? Shiva Sapkota here with another Tesla review. Today we are reviewing this mini instrument cluster display from Hansho with some very unique features and a circular design. And this has been a big ask in the channel to come up with circular clusters because we reviewed one about 2 years ago and that was a very popular product, but it had some downside, and this one is here. It's a single circular cluster. It does have this flat space here, a unique design, and it also should show some of the information that we haven't seen in the past, at least as per the manufacturer. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do an unboxing. I am going to show you step-by-step detailed installation guide on how to get this installed, and then we're gonna take it out on a ride like always. I'm gonna show you what you can see while driving, the information, if there are any bugs, what other UIs that is found on this, how to do the settings. We'll cover all of that here in today's video, and then we're gonna end our video with our honest opinion about this product. This product comes from Hansho, and if you have been following our channel for a few years now, we love Hansho's products. They send us the best and the latest, greatest Tesla accessories we're able to feature for you all. They also have the largest selection of Tesla products, as well as some of the cheapest prices that you can see on Tesla products out there. So do check them out. I have a very big discount code, Shiva Tesla. Usually it is at least 15% off, but sometimes it also goes all the way to 30%. So depending on the time, it might be that high. So please do check them out. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate if you could please engage with our video. That means clicking like, subscribing, commenting, sharing, anything that you want to do. If you just want to stop by and say, hey, I liked your video, or I did not like your video for some reason, please do that, because it helps us with those engagement, and YouTube will rank our video higher in their algorithm, helping us bring more videos like this in the future. Thank you very much. Let's get started. So this is what the packaging comes with. Here you have the cluster itself. As you can see, it has a USB-C input here for software updates. You also have this two input. One is for data and one is for power. So that is the cluster itself. Then when we go over here, they send you a pry tool, which is nice, and then there is a bunch of wiring. Now the main wiring here is this guy here that connects to the CAN data cable and then the power cable to the instrument cluster here. But the other end of this just has a white plug. So this is this white plug that is getting all that information, both the power as well as the data information, from the glove box area in the passenger side. So this one connects to that, those two leads connect to that, and then this one actually gets the information from these two plugs. Now depending on what version of the car that you have, either the Intel or the AMD, that is what you need to choose between these two cables. So Intel version, like mine today that I'm going to show you, just has this plug bypass that we need to do underneath the glove box, and then this is the cable that we connected right here. Then it goes and connects to the instrument cluster. So that's how this whole thing becomes a one circuit. Now if you have an AMD car, this is what you are going to need. So you are going to need that blue plug underneath that passenger door area, and I'll show you here during the review that where this needs to plug in. And then this is the plug that goes in and plugs into that power port, and I'll show you this during the install as well, where you plug this in and then it gets the power from that. This is the data and this is the power. So that is all the installation is involved. And then of course finally we need to include this because we're going to be mounting this one here underneath the dash. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're gonna have to remove this dash panel and just take the pry tool that they send and start prying on this side panel. This is something we have done a lot in our channel, so our panel is probably very loose and yours could be stubborn if you have never removed it, but just be patient with it. Use a pry tool like this and then peel it out. If you have an older Tesla, you also need to remove this panel, but because we replaced ours with this carbon fiber dash, we don't have that panel here, and the newer Teslas are gonna have the same thing. But if you see a little slit on the top here, then you can use a pry tool to just pry on that slit, and then this panel just comes out. We have demonstrated this past on other videos. So once you do that, go ahead on the right side. You also need to remove this door panel, the side door panel, by just prying on it. Again, ours is super loose because we have done it so many times. Now we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing on the driver's side. So exact same thing here. Take your pry tool, then pry on this panel. Yours is probably tight if you have never removed this. And then again, if you have an older Tesla, pry right here. If you can see a slit, then this panel also comes out. To remove the dash, all you have to do is pry up on the edge here and do that on all sides throughout the dash, and this one just comes out. This dash is held down by several clips, and it shouldn't require much force, but again, if you have never done this, it might be a little tight, but again, don't use too much force. This shouldn't require much force. To make the computer connection, we are going to be opening up this glove box panel right here. This is held down by several plastic clips that I'll show you how to remove them. It's just using a pry tool. So for the Intel computer, your plug is going to be right here. For the AMD ones, you're also going to want to remove this pillar right here. And to do that, you can just use this pry tool, pry up on this clip right here. Then there is going to be a blue plug for the AMD connection, and then as well as a white plug here for the power for the AMD connection. Remove those 4 plastic screws. You can use a pry tool to remove them. Once the panel is removed, you will see the LED light connector, which can be removed by pinching on the middle tab and pulling it out. Then the speaker plug can be disconnected by simply pulling on the plug. Now, first of all, you are going to route this cable that has the power and the CAN data, which is the OBD data, from here up through the dash. So you are going to take it all the way to the steering wheel side. You are going to end up with just this plug here. Now, there is 2 different things. If you have an Intel computer like mine, all you are going to do is plug this end to this here, this plug, and then that is your connection here. Now, if you have an AMD chip in your car, like the newer cars, then what you're going to do is you are going to be plugging this here to this plug. This is the AMD wiring harness. You're going to plug it into this plug, and then when you open this door panel here, you are going to see a blue plug. You're going to plug that into the blue plug, and then the remainder of this plug, there is a power plug right here. It's a white plug, and you're just going to bypass it. So you're going to daisy chain to the existing white plug here, and then this one is the blue plug that you're going to plug it in. So for AMD, those 2, and then connect this to this main cable. For Intel, you don't need the power side. You just go underneath the glove box here and bypass your main OBD plug using this. This is the difficult plug we need to remove for the cars with an Intel chip. You just have to pinch on the middle tab, and while holding it down, pull the plug out. Then take the new harness and plug the male Tesla adapter into the female adapter of the new harness, and then take the new male adapter and plug it into the Tesla computer. Make sure to align the plug straight to prevent bending Tesla pins. Again, this is super tedious and requires a lot of patience. At the end, it should make a complete circuit. So for the AMD version, what you're going to do is remove this pin right here that will allow you to remove this door panel, and right around here you're going to see a blue plug, and that's what you're going to connect this plug to, the blue plug. And then on the side you are going to see a white plug right about here, and that's where you are going to use this white plug to bypass that plug on the door panel. Now we need to route this cable towards the steering wheel, and to do that, again, just drop this cable towards the steering wheel and still leave some cable in the down, and then you can use some masking tape or electrical tape to just center this cable. So the goal is you don't want this cable to be touching any of this clip holes here. So you want to put this away. This masking tape is not going to hold the cable down, and we don't need to, but this is just so that the cable doesn't move and it doesn't interfere with any of this clip. So go ahead and do that all around over to there, and then we're going to make that connection in the steering wheel. So we just need to make sure that it doesn't interfere with any of this dash clips. So hold it down using masking tape or electrical tape. So for this process, after you remove the dash, you are going to want to align this here in the very center. And depending on your OCD level, you might need a measuring tape and you might have to count your holes. But right here, I am going to put in the center of this steering wheel panel. So to me, something like this works. And once you have identified the opening, you can put a tape to mark it, or you just know where it is at. Then you can insert this first cable through the next hole here, through the air vent. Now you got your power cable through. Now skip a hole here and then go to the next one, because this middle tab needs to go into one of those air vents there. Then you insert this in. So that is done. Now you can just push this in to align it, and that's where mine is going to sit. And again, if your OCD level is high, then you're probably gonna wanna change the location, but this matches here, which is pretty cool that it matches right here. Now what we need to do is, you see there is this 3 holes here on the bracket. We just have to insert this in and put the screws. So you are going to align again this bracket here with this 2 openings. So it looks like you can do this and match the cable. So insert this red wire through this first hole here, and then insert the blue wire through this larger hole here. Then you can align this here and match the holes right here. Then you can grab this screws that came with the kit and put it on all 3 of these holes here. You also have to hold it down. If you're doing it like me here, you also have to hold it down from the bottom so this does not fall. And then insert it right here. You're going to need a mini screwdriver for a mini kit. I'll link one down below. And you just have to then thread this in to secure it in place. You want to make sure that this is fully secure so it doesn't shake while riding or anything. There you go. So now that is secured. We got 2 more to go here. So after you have secured all 3 of the screws, this is what it should look like, and it should stay flush with the dash here, and it shouldn't move. We're almost done with the install here. All we have to do is take the cables that we routed from the bottom and plug it in. So blue matches the blue, and the red matches here with the red. And once you plug it in, what we want to see is the display turn on, which it did here. So we know that the installation was a success. And what we can do is then just align this dash here and make sure that the cable didn't come on any of the clips. They're not blocking it. Then we can go ahead and push this down. It might take a little bit of a force to do that, but you can go ahead and push this down. Make sure that it stays down and it doesn't try to come up. Now we just have to install the side dash panels and everything, but this is good to go. We can peel this sticker, the most satisfying part, and then we can go ahead and test this. So this is fully installed, but we want to change a few things. It shows kilometer, and I was looking for settings. And I love when a product actually comes with a full user manual of what each of those indicators are and how to do the settings. So it looks like it says we need to use this right scroll wheel and press it towards the right for about 3 seconds. This will take us to the settings menu, and we can scroll the right side of the wheel to the right to select the function setting, and scroll up and down to select the options. So this is pretty straightforward. Kudos to Handshow for actually sending a decent user manual that is usable. So let's go ahead and play with this, change some settings, and then we'll go out on a ride. So following the user's manual, we just have to press and hold this steering wheel button towards the right for a couple of seconds to enter the settings menu. And here we have the settings menu. Things that we can change there looks like the unit, tire pressure, theme, language, UI, and it just has that back button. To go between the different menu, you have to press this towards the right, or you have to press this towards the left. So it will take you to different menu here. Like the theme is selected right now, the language is selected. Now if you need to go back, that's what you do. And to circulate between each of those items, you have to scroll this up or down. So right now we are setting the miles there, and we can go to tire pressure. We can do PSI or bar. we can go to theme, and this is a bug that they need to fix because obviously we are in the English language here, but the theme is still written in a foreign language. And what I'm thinking is when we scroll this down, this first one is probably auto. The first one is auto, the second one is white, and then this third one is black. That is typically the case for other instrument cluster that we have reviewed here. So we'll leave that in dark language, again English, and looks like that is Chinese. UI, when they say UI, it just means the little bar that goes up and down, and the color of the gear selector, but nothing else. The display doesn't become orange. So you can do different ones here. You can go through different UIs. You can select UI 3, whatever you want. Then this is the back button, and when you are there, all you have to do is swipe up and it will exit, and this is where we're at. Now that whole thing about UI is this is where you are going to notice it right here. The bar, the energy bar that goes up or down when you're accelerating is what will show. Right now we did it as a purple rainbow or whatever, and it shows right here the park, that's the same color. That's the only thing that changes between all those UIs. And a quicker way to actually access that UI is by simply pressing up on this. So you scroll up, as you saw, it changes between the different UI colors. So up, and this is orange. So here are all the options that you have. So that's pretty easy. You just have to scroll up or down, and whatever you want to see here. So if you want to see the orange one, you just have to do that. So that is pretty cool in easy access. Another easy access on the menu is that when you press this down really quickly, so scroll this down quickly, and you will see the tire pressure. This is only applicable when the car is not in autopilot. We haven't driven this car for very much, so it is not showing that, and that tire pressure actually goes away quickly. So listening to the user feedback, we don't want to see the tire pressure all the time, but just occasionally you just swipe this down and then you'll see that, and it will go away within a couple of seconds. If you want to keep that up, you just have to keep doing that. And then if you swipe up really fast, like how you are changing a speed on an autopilot, you see the trip mile. So right now is 0, we haven't driven it, so that shows the trip mile. And if you scroll up again really quickly, then you see the mile, that's the odometer here. So those are 2 quick settings that you can do to make these adjustments. Other than that, this is all you are going to see here. This has the battery percentage, the gear selector, the odometer. The top says is ready. I have no idea what that means. I've seen that in other instrument clusters as well. The top, very top here, it shows the turn signals here. If I take out my seat belt, it populates right there. So that is pretty active, and it shows that. It shows the headlight, the fog light, everything that is turned on. So if I want to turn the high beam light, as you see, it actually activated really quickly. So there is no bug here. You can see that it shows 75%. Let's go over here. It is 75%, so that is accurate. I'm trying to see where it shows the range. Maybe while we're driving it shows the range, but I haven't seen that here. So hopefully I'm able to show that. This is driving with the dark mode here. We put it on drive and we start driving. You see the acceleration bar going up and down on the left side. I don't know what that right bar is. Maybe it's the battery percentage. I have no idea what that is, but it goes up and down as we speed up. So that's what you see. And then if I put this on turn signal, that's what you're going to see. We're going to test the other indicators here as well. So for example, let's see if it works. We are going to go here and press really hard on the brake. Yep, so the hill hold sign also populated, which is cool. We don't see this populate very often. And again, the headlight, tail light, everything syncs up with the Tesla. Now let's change this UI to the lighter UI and then see how it looks. So this is the light UI, and sorry, it's not flickering like that in real life. It's just the refresh rate between the display and my camera is tripping a little bit here, but it should be very clean and not flickering like that. And with the light mode, it's the same thing that we see here. The turn signals, all of that work. So high beam, the headlights, everything works really well. The speed is synced up with Tesla. So again, This doesn't appear to have any bugs, which is a great thing for a first generation unit here. Now we're going to play around with the light setting here. So we're going to turn the headlights and fog lights on, which in Tesla it turned on, and there we see it. And we're going to turn them off, and then we see that. So the lights actually work really well. And again, the turn signal, here is the fog light. So Tesla, everything that you see on the Tesla is reflected here, and it syncs up really well. This is a quick gearing test. So drive, reverse, park, neutral, everything works really well. One big thing that I want to test is the autopilot indicator. So we're going to turn this screen here just a second. And then right now the autopilot is not available. Of course, we're in park. When we're in drive, right now the autopilot is not available yet. And that autopilot sign is also not there. Even grayed out, it's not there. And now the autopilot is available, looks like. Or it's trying to become available. So now it is available, and that gray sign came back. So that is a good sign. Now we're going to put the car into autopilot. Wow. So car is in autopilot, and there's that blue sign. Finally somebody figured it out how to make this work. So that's pretty awesome. So another test for autopilot is if it actually shows the nag of the autopilot to hold the steering wheel. So turning this on. Yeah, so it started giving me the alert. Oh my god, that is awesome. As you can see, it is blue flashing here, telling me to pay attention to the road. Wow, so awesome they figured that out. I actually prefer this dark screen here. It looks very clear and HD, and we are going right now in a direct sunlight, and as you can see, there is not much glare that I can live with this even on the direct sunlight. That means I'm probably going to leave this as a dark mode on all the time rather than syncing between light and dark mode. I like the dark mode more than the light mode. So here's the light mode here, and as you can see, it's pretty great, and even on sunlight there's not much glare. Excuse the flickering of the screen again. This is just the refresh rate being different here, I think, between my camera and the instrument cluster screen, but it doesn't flicker like that in real life. So when you are parked, if you open the door, it shows which door is opened, which is cool. It indicates, but when you open, let's say, a frunk, it just highlights. It does not have that UI where it shows that the frunk is open, and this is pretty typical for many instrument clusters that we have reviewed here. So we're going to close that frunk, and it will show that the frunk is closed right there. So it is in sync with Tesla. So here are the product parameters. It's a mini instrument T9 model. It has a Linux operating system. Screen size is 3.54. Resolution is 800 by 640. And it shows the UI interface, theme, original steering wheel. So it shows all of that here. The product parameters. So that's also another cool thing that they included all of that directly on this owner's manual. This is the best looking user manual that I have seen from Hanshow. Alright, after thoroughly testing this instrument cluster, taking it out on a ride, showing you all what it offers, here is my verdict. Let's just start with my likes. We'll move on to some of the things I do not love about this instrument cluster. First of all, I like the fit of it. It is a very small instrument cluster, but at the same time, it's not tiny like the other ones that we have reviewed. So this is probably a perfect balance between wanting the information that you want to see in the front versus size and not sacrificing the airflow. So this is a pretty great option for that purposes. So if you're looking for an instrument cluster where it is not too large that it blocks everything, but it's also not too tiny that we have reviewed, like the mini cluster that we have reviewed here, then this is a great size for that. I also like that it doesn't block as much airflow like the other instrument cluster, as I said before, especially like the 10.25 inch cluster that we have reviewed and some of the larger cluster. Even that mount on the steering wheel panel, they block quite a bit of airflow, and this one does not. This one still blocks a little bit, but I still see that airflow come directly to my face, so which is great that because it is such a small cluster that it doesn't block as much airflow. Another thing I like is the graphics are a lot better compared to some of the other ones that we have seen. And these are not like etched within the instrument cluster. This is actually an LCD screen on a black background, and they're projecting the information into the colors, and everything are being projected towards the front. So it's really nice that the graphics are HD quality graphics that we see on this. The UI is amazing. It shows a lot of information, and all the information that you need to see and more, right? Like some of the following distances, you can see the PSI, and the PSI doesn't stay on, the tire pressure doesn't stay on all the time. You have an ability to turn that up, which is a big ask from you viewers on previous instrument clusters, that you don't want to see that tire pressure all the time. You want to be able to just toggle it on and off and be able to see that. So that is another great benefit of this, is it lets you customize it a little bit. For me, the biggest thing probably is the autopilot. I got so excited when I saw that, because I have been nagging all these manufacturers about figure out a way so that you can show the autopilot being turned on, and then all that nag where it says, pay attention to the road or hold the steering wheel. Not that I'm not paying attention to the road, but sometimes it is hard to look towards the right and then see that. So just having that directly in front of me, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are in the same boat. You want to see the things directly in front of you, and be able to see that autopilot thing is a huge bonus on this one. Nobody have been able to figure that out in the past, so kudos to Hansho for figuring it out in this iteration, where we can actually see that nag as well as the autopilot. So a couple of things I want to point out towards my dislikes of this. For example, right there in the theme, that is not an English font, even though we have put language as English here. So do change that, and I hope Hansho makes that change as soon as possible so we know what that means. I think it means automatic, dark, and light, but that's just an inference based on my previous experience with this instrument cluster. So that is that is a bug. They need to fix that. Another thing is the UI. When you change the UI, it doesn't really change the UI of the whole instrument cluster. It only changes the little bar that goes on the left, and then the parking gear selection that you have going between different gears. So I hope that in the future iteration they are able to actually make the change in the face, so that when it is orange, the actual instrument cluster, this whole thing becomes orange and has different color choices to go with that. So those are two feedback for here. Also allowing us to make more adjustment, because it looks like it's very capable of making those adjustments. If we wanted to see more features turned on or change some of the settings, I hope that they make that work here. Another apparent bug is that even if we put this into, let's say, automatic, the theme into automatic right now. So right now it is at I think that is automatic, right? Like that's just, I'm inferring that again. And if I do this, even though this is automatic, when I go over here in the car's display, and if I change this to dark, the car turns dark, but this does not. The brightness still works. So if I swipe the brightness, as you see that it actually updates, but the actual dark versus light, there is no changes here. So I hope that they also figure that out. When it is in auto, it actually changes here in auto. And that is a pretty common theme for pretty much all the instrument clusters we have reviewed. So it has probably something to do with Tesla's code, but that needs to be fixed at one point. Another thing they need to fix is that if you look at the battery here, it only shows percentage. It does not show the range, actual range. And I hope that they figure it out where they show both of them at the same time. Another thing is, I wish that car was a matching car. So right now it's a red car and it shows the white car. So having that as a red car would have been pretty cool. So what do you all think about this instrument cluster? Would you get it for your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y? What do you like about this? What do you not like about this? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any comments, any questions, you want me to do a follow-up video, please do let me know in the comment section. If you want more features on this, more features on the next version, the best thing to do is to put it on the comment section of all of my videos, so that when the manufacturers are watching it, because they are watching my channel and figuring out what the users are wanting, and I also pass this feedback along to the manufacturers so that they can upgrade their products, they can make it more in tune with what the users want. So please, please, please do me a favor, leave your comments in the comment section below, and also please engage with our videos. That helps us rank higher in YouTube's algorithm. And engagement, I mean liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. If you even have nothing to say about the product, if you just want to let me know how I'm doing with the videos, how am I doing overall with the channel, if you like the videos that I'm producing, if you don't like the content, and if you have any suggestion, please feel free to leave those in the comment section below. I read each and every comment. I might not be able to get to you and respond to all the comments. I try my best and respond to them, but even if I don't, I am reading those and I am digesting them so that I can make those improvements in the future. Thank you very much for tuning on today's video. I will put a link down below for this product along with a special discount code. Again, Hansho has so many products. You should check them out. You might find something you like. We have reviewed a lot of them in this channel. We have a playlist down below with all the Tesla accessories we have reviewed. Thank you very much for watching this video again, and continue support to the channel. I will be back again with another Tesla video.